been a little bit of discussion recently because, you know, there's occasionally we see a short sale or foreclosure. I mean, it's rare. There's not much short sale and foreclosure activity out there. And I talked about the shift in the market a little earlier in the show. The shift is really more towards consumer preference, not really anything drastic, major, negative happening in our market, more just consumers having some preferences to do things differently that are skewing the stats. But nonetheless, the market's still super healthy. Will it be forever? No, it won't be. But for now, it's still kicking along pretty well. So a short sale and a foreclosure, they're different. A foreclosure, the bank takes the house back. The bank goes through the process of getting rid of the owner, reacquiring the property through the legal process. A lot of times the homes are put up at auction at the county, and the offer isn't good enough, so the bank takes it back and decides to sell it themselves. So that is what a foreclosure is. You're dealing with a bank. The bank owns the house. The bank's making the decisions. The bank doesn't have emotion. They are looking at numbers. They want to move their inventory and get it sold. So a little bit different than a short sale. And a bank home can be bought in a month or less. It can be bought during a normal closing process. Sometimes they take a little longer if there's some title issues. But nonetheless, most bank homes can sell in a normal, traditional real estate timeline. Short sales, however, they're definitely not short in terms of the time it takes to buy them. They should call them long sales because they take a long time. Ultimately, what's happened in this scenario is a homeowner has decided to sell their home, but they owe more on it. They're either behind on their mortgage or they owe more on it than it's worth. And they have to work out an arrangement with the bank to allow the sale to happen. For one, because sometimes it helps the seller's credit a little bit better, and it helps their collection situation a little bit better. And two, because for some people they feel it's the right thing to do, that they want to do that. So a lot of times they have attorneys that have helped them, and it's a better path for them to go. But in essence, you're making an offer to a seller, and the seller is then taking the offer and sending it with a whole lot of other documentation about their financials to the bank. And the bank is then doing their due diligence to decide whether or not they want to allow the debt on the home to be reduced to allow the sale to happen. So while in both situations the bank is ultimately in a great decision-making position, the short sale is a little bit more complicated because it's a lot more than just whether or not they'll make more money. Some of it depends on their ability to pursue the owner. Some of it depends on what they think is likely to happen in the market. If their foreclosure costs are going to be less than the increase in value over a period of time, then sometimes they just let it go all the way to foreclosure and they won't approve a short sale. So it's not cut and dry, and lots of home buyers make offers on short sales and they get excited about them and they never get to closing, and the bank ends up foreclosing, and the short sale seller ends up damaging the home, or it's just a lot more complicated. So if it is the one and it's the right house and you're willing to wait on it, go the short sale path. If that's not the case, if you're not convinced that this is the one and you're willing to wait months and months and months, and in some cases a year to get the house, then that's that's the path that you go. But short sales have a lot of obstacles. I think they're not fun transactions to deal with. There's not a lot of them out there, but every once in a while we'll see some come available.
It just takes so long for the bank to get back and make that decision. And you could wait, and I've seen this before, where someone waits 7 months, 8 months, and the bank comes back and says, no, we're not going to take the offer.
I've seen that a lot of times. And here's the thing, the banks really, right now, they don't have that much incentive to take a very drastic loss on the house. They're not that great of deals, especially if you get into the time value of money. I mean, the banks can hold on to the asset, repossess or foreclose on the asset, and as long as the market continues to trend upward, they're still going to make more in the end than they would if they sold, if they, granted the sale for less. So the deals are not that great on these properties. The banks aren't going to go in and just take nothing for the property.
Yeah, the days of getting a smoking hot, fantastic deal on a foreclosed home or a short sale, they're gone.
Yeah.
Because the banks know market values as well, and they know that they can get it.
Well, they know they can get more money.
Well, years and years ago when the market was trending downward, they wanted to get that stuff off their books as quick as they could, because they didn't want an asset that they could lose money on every day. So they don't have that incentive anymore. So, it's one of those things that the deal's not even that great, and you've waited around and probably missed a lot of properties that would have worked out better for you.
Right. And not only that, but it's just a lot of hoops to jump through. They really grind on the agents. They make the agents jump through a bunch of hoops, and I just got to tell you, like I said, it's worth it if it is the one, and you're willing to wait months and months and months. If that's not the case, find another house.
When we closed them, we just closed one, and we worked with it through an attorney, and the attorney was able to get it closed and help us out with that. And we have a couple that we're working on right now, so we still do them well. But there was a couple years ago where we were doing 5, 6, 7 a month.
Yeah, we do, and we still do them. We've got the experience. We did a lot of them back in the day, so we're a resource. If someone's out there in that position, we'd love to help you. But from the buyer's perspective and from the sellers, we want to make sure to find the right buyer. You're going to be in this situation and in this process for a long time, and nothing is worse than somebody bailing on the deal a few months in because they weren't properly educated about the timeline it was going to take. So we want to find the buyer that is the house, and they're going to stick and they're going to wait it out. That's our goal. And when you're in a limited inventory market, sometimes people settle and they get into these situations and they jump in and they say, oh no, this is the one, and then a couple months later they find something else, and they get just tired of waiting around, and something else catches their eye. So that's predominantly the difference between short sales and foreclosures. We don't expect to see a ton of them anytime soon, but they pop up here and there, and we get customers asking, well, hey, can't you just get the bank to accept my offer? I want to close this month on a short sale. Yeah, it's really not going to happen.
You're going to have a lot better luck on a short sale with a small bank or credit union.
Agreed.
When you get to the national banks,
yeah, they have huge departments.
Yeah,
it's a lot of red tape.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Small credit unions,
might have better luck.
We've worked with
with
some
short
local
sale.
banks to on them in the past, and those have been much more effective. So.